In this tutorial, I will be covering adding different types of content items into a content area. So for my blank learning units area, the first thing that I actually want to add to this area is going to be a learning module. So to do that, I hover over my build content, and under this create section, I'm going to click on learning module, and I'm going to name the learning module And then on the outside of the learning module, in this text box, I'm actually going to put activities that the students are supposed to complete for this particular week and the objectives that we will be covering. And I can use my text box editor to do all of the formatting that I would like for this particular for the display. So if I want to bold, I've got the option to do bold, and then these are the objectives, the things that we'll be covering for this particular week. You can also integrate an image into your learning module. And then I will put in an image description so that it is ADA compliant. And now I've got my image in there. Now with learning modules, on the first learning module, you don't have to have a display after or a display until date. But on the subsequent learning modules, you do want to have, at the very least, an open date. We don't want all learning units open up at the same time. So once I've completed this, and I've got my good description on the outside of my learning unit, I'm going to go ahead and click Submit. And now another thing that I'm going to want to do for my learning units is I'm going to set them up to where they have got an adaptive release on there. So what I'm going to do is I want to require students to take the syllabus quiz, and to do that I'm going to use the adaptive release tool. So what I do is I click on the down arrow next to my learning unit 1 and I click on adaptive release, and then I'm going to scroll down to this grade section and I'm going to select the syllabus quiz here, and then I'm going to select score, and then I'm going to put equal to, and I'm going to enter 100 because that's our syllabus quiz's worth, and then I'm going to click Submit. And now our learning unit 1 is ready for content to be added into it. Now that we've got our learning unit 1 set up, then what I'm going to want to do is I'm actually going to start building content. And I'm going to go into one of my example courses so I can show you some of the different types of content that I have added. So this is just a regular content item, and I did repeat what I had in my previous on the outside of my learning unit, just so that way students will be able to see it in both places. But to create a regular content item, I just do my build content, and then I click on an item. And this create item is also the same type of item that I use to upload my syllabus. So at this point, I would just name my item, and then I would put my text in to describe what's going on in the content item or the instructions. And then if I needed to attach a document, I would attach it. And like I said, you can drag and drop it into this area, or you can browse your computer. And then once you've got everything set up the way you wanted to, you would click submit, and then the item would look like this. And if you need to edit that particular item, you could hover over it and click edit. And we could go and actually make changes to this if we needed to. And this was an image that I uploaded from the internet. When I click on my insert edit image, I found this this image off of Google, and instead of downloading the image, what I did was I copied the link and I pasted that link in this particular box here, and then I put a description in there, and then I just clicked update, and now I have this image. So not only is it ADA compliant, but it's also I'm not running into any kind of copyright issues because I didn't download the image and saved it. All I did was go to the internet and copy the link and paste it into my insert edit image. And then I just click submit, and then my content item has been created. Another type of item that you can create is a web link. And all of the items that I'm going to be adding are going to be listed from under this build content menu. So if I want to add a web link, I can just hover over build content, and I'm just going to click on web link. And say I want to link out to the CDC website. And if there's something in particular that I want students to look up on the CDC website, I'm going to direct them to, please read the article on infectious diseases. And then I've got the option to attach a file if I need to. I would recommend leaving it to open in a new window, and I really wouldn't make any changes here. I would recommend leaving web links and documents and things like that open to students. The only things that I would recommend putting dates on are going to be your learning modules or your assignments. But once I have got my web link now that to where I want it, then I would just click submit. And if I scroll down all the way to the bottom, I've got my CDC web link, and it will link me out to that website. Another type of item that's really popular in learning modules is folders. I recommend using folders to help organize what's in your learning units. So in this particular learning unit, I have got my regular items, but then I decided that I wanted to organize my assignments in a weekly folder so that way it's a little bit easier for students to know, okay, these are what's assigned, this is what I need to make sure gets done this week. So if I click into my week 1 folder, I've got my chapter 1 review quiz. I've got a video that goes along with this particular discussion. I've got another video that's going to go along with the journal, and then I've got a quiz. So to create a folder, what I'm going to do is hover over build content, and I'm actually going to click on content folder. And then I'm just going to name my folder, and then I will put a description of what is going to be in that folder. And then I'm going to allow students to view the content, and then you do have the option of using a display after and a display until, so that will make it available, and then that would hide it. And then you would just click submit. And then I've got my folder listed here. Another really popular item to include in your course would be YouTube videos. So the way you would integrate a YouTube video is you have two options. You could do it through the build content and item, or you could do it through the YouTube video. I recommend doing it through the item. To me, it's a little bit easier to search for videos that have closed captioning, and so we want to be really cognizant of the of um, our ADA requirements, and our students with disabilities. So whenever you have found a video on YouTube, or you're looking up a subject on YouTube, what you could do is you could look up the subject that you're looking for. Then what you'll do is you'll click on Filter, and then you'll click on Subtitles CC. And then what you'll do is once you find a video that you want to take a look at, make sure that you review the video and that you review the subtitles to make sure that those are correct. But once you've done all of that, then what you can do is click Share, and you're actually going to want to click Embed here. And you're going to copy all of this code right here. And then you'll go back into your course and you'll hover over Build Content, and you'll go into Item. Go ahead and put a description in the video. And then what you'll do is you'll click on this HTML code view, and you'll space down, and then you're just going to paste that code directly into that HTML box, and then you'll click Update. And now you'll notice that you've got this video right here. And then if you need to attach a file, or if you want to set some date restrictions, you can do that. But then you would just click Submit. And now if we scroll down, we've got our video embedded really nicely in the course, and it will actually play. And students can also make it full screen if they need to. You can also create a link to your virtual office hours. So if you've got your virtual office hours already set up, we can copy this guest link and go back into our learning units. And we can do a web link. And then we would paste the link in and give it a name, and then add that description, and then just go ahead and click Submit. And let me show you. I've already got a link in here. So this is actually a web link that I created to my virtual office hours. If you have a session recorded in your course, you can also create a link to that as well. Okay, so I've got a recording that I want to integrate. So I'm going to click on Recording Options, and I'm going to click Copy Link. And I'm going to go back into my learning units, click back into my learning unit 1. Now I'm going to set this one up a little bit differently. So I'm going to go to Item, And then I'm going to put a description of my Blackboard recording, or I'm going to tell the students I want you to review the recording. But then I'm going to click on my little film clip icon, and I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to paste that video link in, and then I'm going to switch that over to iframe, and then click insert, and then I'm going to leave everything else the default, and then just click submit. And now I'm going to have a video. It'll actually look at like this week 1 PowerPoint lecture that I've already got set up here. And this is another web link that I created. This was another video that I got off of YouTube. This was a web link, and what I did was I also found an image from Google. Okay, and say I wanted to copy this particular web link, or this, I'm sorry, this particular image. I did a right click, and I want to copy image location. And what I could do is click on my little insert edit image. I can paste that URL in. And then click insert. Oh, this may not have been a good link to grab, but I did something similar for this particular image, and you can see I've got this particular link that it came from, and I pasted that in, and then I did the description, and then it allowed me to submit. And so that was just a web link, and I just added a description on that particular web link. If you have trouble with any images, let me know and I can take a look at it. You'll notice sometimes there might be an issue with the image, but you should be able to go over to Google and find images and just copy the link to the image, and that should allow you to embed really nicely. And like I said, those are just web links that I created. And again, this is just an item that I created with a YouTube video. And also some of these videos come from Khan Academy as well. And I did the same thing. I just went to their website, and I copied the video and I put it into an item. Another thing that you will notice you can actually incorporate into your course is called Studymate Activities. If you have key terms that you get from a textbook, or say you want to sit down and make some, you can put those into a program called Studymate, and it will automatically kick out all of these activities just from that one set of terms. And so students can go through and they can actually see, using these particular activities. There is also something called Soft Chalk that will allow you to create little games. In fact, the training module that you're using right now to go through the faculty training was created through Soft Chalk, and both of those are free softwares that we have access to. That you are, more than welcome to download and to use to build content into the course. And I also have student workers that can help. If there's, something you would like to put into the course, just let the distance learning department know, and we're happy to help. And so those are some of the most popular types of learning content that you can add and that you can integrate into your course. I do also want to add on you can, when you need to upload a PowerPoint or upload any kind of document, again, you can do that by create an item. you can do file, and it will also allow you to attach a file, but I like to do item because I can either A, upload multiples, or B, it doesn't automatically open up when a student clicks on that page. So it makes it a little bit easier for them. They don't have to constantly field stuff that's being popped up and opened on their computer.